A very warm welcome to all the attendees. I'm Rashika and I'll be the moderator during the webinar. The topic for today's webinar is Redefine Your Workforce Automation in the Time of Uncertainty. This webinar is a joint collaboration of Exponentia, Automation Anywhere, and Tech Data team. The presenters of today's webinar are Mr. Ramendra Shukla, co-founder and CEO of Exponentia, Mr. Sumit Pathak, Digital Workforce Evangelist, Automation Anywhere, Mr. Gaurav Jain, Head of Intelligent Automation at Exponentia, and Mr. Abhijit Mukherjee, Solution Specialist at Tech Data. A couple of instructions I'd like to share before we begin the session. All the participants will be kept on mute during the entire webinar. However, we would like to make the session interactive and welcome your inputs. For this, we'll have a poll in short intervals between the webinar, where a question will be displayed on your screen for about 30 seconds. Kindly submit your response within the stipulated time. We'll also have a Q&A session. You may raise your questions anytime in the chat box available on the control panel on the right top corner of your screen, and we'll take them up at the end of the session. With this, I'd like to invite Mr. Ramendra to begin the webinar.
Thank you, Rashika. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us for this webinar today. In today's webinar, we will focus on how AI and automation is helping organizations adapt to the changes in our environment, and especially to overcome the uncertainties which we are seeing today and due to the changes brought in by the pandemic. In terms of agenda, we'll have a quick introduction of Exponentia and which will be followed by a session by Sumit from Automation Anywhere, which will be on redefining the workforce and how Automation Anywhere is helping us do that. Then we will have a round of platform demonstration along with live demo by Gaurav and Abhijit. So about Exponentia, we are an AI tech company, working across different areas, right from customer engagement with cognitive AI capabilities, institutionalizing intelligent automation, and accelerating data to decisions. We also have a product which is a conversational AI platform, which is part of many of our solutions. We as an organization started in 2014, and we are today a team of about 200 people with 60 plus clients, and we are currently operating out of London, Mumbai, and Singapore. For most of our solutions, we have a very close tie-up with OEM companies, some of the leading companies in this space, like Automation Anywhere, Qlik, AWS, Microsoft, Lenovo, and Cloudera. And we build our solutions in partnership with most of these companies. On our footprint, actually, we have been working across multiple sectors, right from banking to insurance, manufacturing, financial services, healthcare, pharma, and other sectors. And in terms of capabilities, very quick touch upon the advisory services which we provide on various frameworks and implementation planning and roadmap for AI and automation and data services. We work on conversational AI bots, process automation, which is the main theme today. Again, AI-based process automation across organizations. Augmented analytics has been our forte, wherein we are working on customer intelligence, democratizing analytics across organizations, DI modernization and bespoke ML development. And at the heart of this entire setup is basically the data engineering, which is required for setting up the platform. And we work with AWS, Azure, and Cloudera on this front. So if we look at intelligent automation, we are providing end-to-end services, right from setting up the strategy to platform implementations and maintaining them through the entire life cycle. And whether it is model retaining or making sure that we are able to get the maximum ROI out of the entire setup, we entirely focus on this area. We have a center of excellence focused on automation, people who are extensively certified and experienced, and we have worked across various systems, right from SAP, Oracle, Microsoft systems, which are prevalent across enterprises. And this is across industries, so whether you're talking about BFSI, FMCG, retail, or telecom. Most of our solutions are a mix of different types of bots, whether it is RPA bots, cognitive bots, email bots, or chat bots. So typically the solution is a mix because in various processes you are required to actually use different solutions. So we are able to put together the end-to-end solution for our enterprise clients. So, having given this introduction about intelligent automation, let's get on to the main topic today, which is more around redefining the workforce. And as we are all aware, the pandemic today has brought about a lot of uncertainty. And as individuals as well as businesses, we need to adapt to these changes. Given the longevity of the pandemic, I think we are all looking at ways to be quickly able to get back to change the trajectory and get back to the growth curves. And within this, if you look at, there are multiple disruptions which we are seeing, across the various areas which are affecting us, and that's where the entire digital workforce is coming into play. First and foremost is around the employee availability. The impact is profound. We are looking at new operating models with reduced or remote workforces. And with the changes in work environment from offices to home, there is a paradigm shift in how do we really operate and how do we engage with employees as well as a team to make sure that we are able to deliver what is required. Another big disruption theme is physical distancing, as to how do you maintain the distances which are required as part of the process now. And in fact, the entire social infrastructure is currently being underutilized. So a lot of meetings, events need to be replaced with a very different format, which is where every organization is today working towards. And since that human touch is extremely important in whatever we are doing, of course the model has to be that it has to be an augmented workforce, which is probably digital plus human. And then we are looking at low touch operating models, which are to be not only at individual points or areas. This has to work across the organization and probably across the supply chains as well. So which is again a massive change in terms of how do you really make this work. And then of course there is the entire focus on public health, making sure that individually whatever norms are being prescribed are adhered to. So and if you look at the overall impact which is being created because of this, that is affecting each and every sector we are talking about, whether we are saying it is retail or logistics, travel, hospitality. Almost every sector is getting affected in a particular manner. And that is where there is a immediate response which is required from most of the organizations. So if you look at how the organizations are leveraging a digital workforce, what is really happening is that almost like 2/3 of organizations today have started adopting intelligent automation in their processes. And this is across this is in fact happening across the sectors as well as across the globe. And most of the organizations which were actually in fact on this journey have started expediting this much faster, and they are seeing the benefits of this at this, especially at this juncture. Most of the organizations have been able to drive substantial transformation using intelligent automation, and the effects are profound. Everyone you talk to and every sector you look at, most of the people are realizing the benefits of productivity as well as cost. Of course there is an advantage for people who have already had some of these processes set, but having said that, the sooner we are able to adopt to a more augmented workforce, the better it will be for us to be able to steer our organizations in the right manner. Now with the entire digital workforce being available more in the form of platform, it is important for us to look at how platforms like Automation Anywhere are enabling this digital workforce for the organizations. So so with this, I'll pass it on to the next session for Sumit. Before we just do that, there is one small question which will be there on your screens, and I'll request you to kindly fill in that question in the next 4 to 5 seconds. Post that, over to you, Sumit, for taking it forward.
Thank you, Ram.
Growth curves. And within this, if you look at, there are multiple disruptions which we are seeing, across various areas which are affecting us. And that's where, the entire digital workforce is coming into play. First and foremost is around, the employee availability. The impact is profound. We are looking at new operating models with reduced or remote workforces. And with the changes in work environment from offices to home, there is a paradigm shift in how do we really operate and how do we engage with employees as well as the team to make sure that we are able to deliver what is required. Another big disruption theme is physical distancing, as to how do you maintain the distances which are required as part of the process now. And in fact, the entire social infrastructure is currently being underutilized. So a lot of meetings, events need to be replaced with a very different format, which is where every organization is today working towards. And since that human touch is extremely important in whatever we are doing, of course the model has to be that it has to be an augmented workforce, which is probably digital plus human. And then we are looking at low touch operating models, which are to be not only at individual points or areas. This has to work across the organization and probably across the supply chains as well. So which is again a massive change in terms of how do you really make this work. And then of course there is the entire focus on public health, making sure that individually whatever norms are being prescribed are adhered to. So and if you look at the overall impact which is being created because of this, that is affecting each and every sector we are talking about, whether we are saying it is retail or logistics, travel, hospitality. Almost every sector is getting affected in a particular manner. And that is where there is a immediate response which is required from most of the organizations. So if you look at how the organizations are leveraging a digital workforce, what is really happening is that almost like 2/3 of organizations today have started adopting intelligent automation in their processes. And this is across this is in fact happening across the sectors as well as across the globe. And most of the organizations which were actually in fact on this journey have started expediting this much faster, and they are seeing the benefits of this at this, especially at this juncture. Most of the organizations have been able to drive substantial transformation using intelligent automation, and the effects are profound. Everyone you talk to and every sector you look at, most of the people are realizing the benefits of productivity as well as cost. Of course, there is an advantage for people who have already had some of these processes set. But having said that, the sooner we are able to adopt to a more augmented workforce, the better it will be for us to be able to steer our organizations in the right manner. Now, with the entire digital workforce being available more in the form of platform, it is important for us to look at how platforms like Automation Anywhere are enabling this digital workforce for the organizations. So with this, I'll pass it on to the next session for Sumit. Before we just do that, there is one small question which will be there on your screens, and I'll request you to kindly fill in that question in the next 4 to 5 seconds. Post that, over to you, Sumit, for taking it forward.
Thank you, Ram. Rashika, can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, Sumit.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here, and thanks for dialing in on Thursday afternoon. Ram, your presentation was great. I think I was just going to continue on a similar line and then get into a bit more on how Automation Anywhere is looking the digital worker coming to help organizations in the time of uncertainty. Just before I get into it, a quick introduction about Automation Anywhere itself. 16-year-old company. We have been started in a small town in Baroda in Gujarat. Now moved headquarters San Jose. Is after Series B funding, it's $7 billion company now. Recently, with Everest and Gartner, it was voted as a leader in the RPA quadrant. And so while all of this is really good and for you to see, what's the most amazing stats for me on this particular slide is this 2.4 million digital worker across 4,000 plus enterprise customer. I think that basically paints the picture, the adoption of automation, RPA or cognitive automation by the organizations, right? And why so, and I'll explain. But before we get to that, we know about the pandemic. We know that because of it, we are still in the thick of it. Numbers are increasing. We are distributedly working. Now we have adjusted ourselves. Now it has become like 6 months have gone down the line, right? But when it came upon us, certainly there was a lot of disruption, right? The supply chain was disrupted. Global travel is still a restriction. Market has crashed. Has come back now. The top line has shrunk significantly, so everyone is looking internally within the organization, be it IT or to the finance, to see at the finance department or CFO, to help them to come out with some sort of a magic solution that can keep the lights on, right, and keep the liquidity and revenue coming in some way or the other. So knowing that, as I said, we've got some 4,000 plus customers. We knew that our customers are impacted as well. And we knew that they are not all impacted in a similar manner. So we divided that into 3 different categories. And we saw that some industries are required to be more efficient in the current scenario. Some have to actually survive, and the others have to be saved because they're too big to fail. We know that pharma, healthcare, hospital, they're in tremendous pressure, a lot of duress. How do we help them with help of digital worker to create that capacity so that continue to do the great work which they are doing and be on the front line and not take away the work of the mundane activity of data entry or processing and things like that, but be there where they need it the most, right? And it's far more challenging now, the fact that we are working in a remote working environment. Survival, we know that many industries like hospitality, airlines have been significantly impacted. Right. So how do you ensure that those industries are able to keep their bottom line in check, at the same time enabling them to create new revenue models, right? And in doing so, helping them with the help of digital worker. Like, for example, place where I stay, there are 3 or 4 hotels close by. They're coming up with different new services for which they have to procure new things. So could they use digital worker or automation to go with the entire supply chain to onboard the new vendor, rather than struggling with that part, knowing that the staff is not available or they're working remotely, right? So there are many of such examples which we have seen. When the cancellations of the air tickets, that became a lot of big sore point when the lockdown was announced, right? And many of our customers who are into aviation utilize the bots to get over that peak so that they can take care of the reputational damage, because we know that it was hitting hard on their pocket. And to save is banking and insurance. We know that the RBI came out with a mandate that whoever wants, they can opt in for EMI moratorium. And when that came about, the banks have to do a lot of work at the background to ensure that the customers who have opted in, and they would have opted into various different ways. One of our customers had to opt in via email or over the call, over the counter, and the sorts, right? So how do you ensure that once the customer has opted in, the debit doesn't take place into their account and that their credit rating doesn't get impacted? So a lot of work happens at the back. So that was supported with help of digital worker. And insurance, because of so many numbers of patients right now who are getting tested and admitted, there's a lot of unclarity in terms of what claims to be asked, right? So how do you ensure that you're able to respond to those queries, and the remaining other normal cases are taken care with the help of bots, so that you create the capacity, right? So just wanted to give you this particular view that everyone was impacted, but impacted differently, and they have been able to use the automation to to manage their situation well. Now, if I go down further, now just before me starting the session, there was a polling question. We've asked these polling questions in month of April and May to in all our webinars which we conducted, and we were able to reach out to some 5,000 execs, right, across different geographies, especially India, Middle East, Africa. And fourth theme which predominantly stood out as a result of this polling, which you will answer as we go through, you will respond to as we go through this session, that the four main areas which were occupying the mind of the organization. One was continued digitization. It was reinforcement that that's required. They want to increase the productivity, do less, to do more with less, to accelerate automation, because knowing that having the automation, you can have more capacity, and then that will help in productivity, and upskill the workforce, knowing that technology is here to say it is the savior. Technology will become the business. So it's quite critical that the workforce gets again upgraded as far as skills are concerned, and we keep upskilling them. If I double click on this and go a bit more deeper, the strategic priority of the organization is 39% spoke about the reduced operational cost, and the remaining one was the follower was increased productivity, and they go hand in hand, right? You want to reduce, you want to do, as I said, more with less. That means you want to reduce your op cost, plus you want to increase your productivity, take maximum out of your resources, right? How do we do that? Plus business resilience stood out very well as well, that okay, tomorrow how do we prepare ourselves better for similar sort of a situation? And that's where they started looking at technologies, which is on the right side, top right of the slide. They are looking for RPA and intelligent automation, big data, other emerging tech, and machine learning. For me, intelligent automation and ML go hand in hand. So I will say around 55 to 60% are focusing on intelligent automation along with RPA. And also the third, if you look at the bottom right, upskilling of workforce, as I spoke about, right? This again stood out, where they want RPA, AI, and ML to be taught and to be learned by their workforce, so they become quite independent in terms of building their bots and democratize that particular capability. So the smart solutions are built with the help of automation solutions, right? So just wanted to give you this picture, because as you will, and these are the responses which we have collected based on the polling which we have done, and you're part of it. So maybe in, the next round will come out soon by end of October, and hopefully we'll see same or different numbers. But how do we get there, right? So how do we increase the productivity? How do you reduce the operational cost? What about technology? And this is where the digital worker or digital workforce comes into picture. And I spoke to you about, those 2.4 million digital worker. What it means. See, what we believe in Automation Anywhere is that any process, okay, depending on which, irrespective of whichever industry, again, I've shown you three types of industries, or three ways the industries are getting impacted. When they look at the process, predominantly any process have got the 6-7 touch points. Either you're capturing the data, you're enriching it, you're validating, then you're processing, keying in and putting it into system, or you're reconciling, comparing the two, and analyzing it, and then supporting it, right? So these are the major touch points for any process. So the idea is that how do you basically use digital worker there to help them to automate and provide that entire value chain. And this is where you bring the technology as a solution, and what you see, the boxes over there, is the technology provided by Automation Anywhere, where you have right from the identification of the bots to the automating, to measuring and monitoring, and then making it smarter using BotStore. I will go a step deeper, and I'll just focus a bit on these four boxes so that you get a better understanding of how to utilize this on your existing processes to get that productivity, to get that operational efficiency, right? And then to increase and to improve the employee morale, and as a result, the customer experience, making it better as well. So I'll double click. See, Discovery Bot is an intelligent module which basically enables the organization to identify the right use cases. It's AI driven. You run this module on your processes with help of 3 or 4 SMEs, and it brings a consolidated, smarter view to talk about to show actually which is the happier path, right? Which steps are commonly being used, or which you should use so that you can build efficiency. So it's not only about automating anything, but you got to automate the right process in the right way to get the maximum out of it. Once you've identified that and you have taken it to a point where it can be developed, you require a combination of RPA, which is the green box, and Orange, which is the cognitive bot. IQ bot is the module for a cognitive bot for automation anywhere. So the enterprise or RPA bot is a logical bot, right? It basically mimics the human behavior. It does the heavy lifting of taking doing the steps which humans do. Could be data entry, could be copying, pasting, could be reconciling from one Excel to another. Right? All those manual tasks which we do, right, can be done with the help of RPA, and it can be done in attended and unattended mode. So it could be done with on your machine, or it could be done in the cloud while you're sleeping and all the processing is taking place. If you combine that with IQBot, which is dealing with the unstructured data, and you believe 80% of the data is unstructured in its nature, right? It's a force to reckon with, because you have invoices coming through, you will have various different pay slips coming through, you may have the bank statements coming through, legal agreements coming through. There's so much of unstructured data out there. How do you basically make sense of it, extract the right information which is relevant for you to take that particular step, right, and go to the next part within the process? So that can be done with help of cognitive bot. So combining these two basically does the genesis or the crux of automation. Once you have done that, the bot insights comes into picture. See, I'm a big believer that if you cannot measure an activity, that is as good as not getting it done, right? So like human workers working, and there's a way to measure their output, their KPIs. Similarly, you got to do with the digital workers as well. So bot insights enables you to measure and monitor the capability at operational level and at business level. Operational level could be that the occupancy of the bot, the start time, end time, and the sorts. And the business insight is the actual business value which the bots have provided. Could be in terms of rupees, could be in terms of the customer experience and the sorts. So this, right from the discovery to the deployment and to the monitoring, is the entire value chain which you see getting automated on these process steps, right, which I said is common across all the industry. And this is what's getting automated, and when you do it properly, doesn't matter what external force are coming through, your organization remains very resilient, right, and smart enough. So let me quickly go through a few of the examples which we have seen. This is for you to take away, right? So it could be the product cost management, warranty management. In any organization you have, in the finance side, you have O2C, P2P, plan to build. PO processing is a very, very common area where we have seen automation taking place. We have seen market to service, hire to retire when you're onboarding people, right? So all of these areas, all cross-function areas across the business, are quite a breeding ground for automation. You can apply RPA significantly over here. You can apply cognitive automation as well over here. Invoicing and remittance, order management. These are all very stock standard processes which deals with lot of data entry, keying, reconciling the documents. All of that can be automated using the digital worker and the 4 components which I spoke about. If I go down, next is the entire value chain, right from your product excellence, service excellence to ops excellence. The entire value chain, right, could be automated with help of automation. I have seen organizations now automating their vendor procurement, not for just in time, but for just in case as well. In case of any untoward incident taking place, how do you ensure that you're ready, right? So it's not only about looking at the SKUs and if it's depleting, then you basically make an automated order, and that order is then the PO is raised, and you get the material, you reconcile and make the payment. That's a stock standard way, and 90% of that has got automated already. But also in just in case, right? If an incident takes place, how quickly you can invoke the new services is something which we are seeing, where You may want to have bots available because with the humans, they may remember, they may not remember. But if you train the bots, they can be invoked anytime in any situation, right? That is there. And the next slide, if I can come to, yep, is another across the corporate function. See, one thing is very common. Whenever I have spoken to different organizations across the industry, they have always come about and said that, okay, which area can we look at to start automating? Be it oil and gas, be it heavy machinery, be it FMCG. One thing which I have seen is very common across all the industries, the corporate function. You will have finance and accounting, IT, HR, customer care, supply chain. These are the areas which are predominantly often always there within the organization, right? So you may want to start looking at that area and identify the processes with help of discovery module, right? Or otherwise, to see which all processes which can help you which can get automated, like increasing help desk support from remote workers, right? That something can be done, or doing the first level of check. For example, printer is not working, the bot can go and check the configuration and say, all the configuration is fine, or another configuration is not fine. It can self-correct it or can send an email for the L2 level support, where now human don't have to do the triage. They know that what's wrong and can go and fix it straight up, right? So you have to just think about it. Hire to retire, spoke about from the HR process, not only hiring people, but also managing your current existing staff. How do you get to that most important email from your internal staff and you act on it before it becomes an incident, right? All of this can be done with help of automation. Your payroll management, usually it gets outsourced. You can do payroll management with help of bots itself and be in more control, right? So just wanted to have these examples in front of you so that you can relate. But if I can go to the next slide, this is the most important slide for me, the entire presentation. See, I spoke to you about the pandemic. I spoke to you about how it basically impacted the industry differently. Then I spoke to you about the processes which are across the anatomy of the process, which is common across the industry. How do you apply a digital worker on it? Then give examples just to make more relative conversation. But the crux is this. The crux is the value you bring when you're looking at automating any of the process. You do not want to just automate the process for the sake of building bots. It's about bringing value to the customer. It's keeping customer, your end user, your stakeholder in the center, and try to solve the business problem for them. And that would be the right approach. And the business problem could be building resiliency, which was one of the factors which we have seen as a result of the poll. Or it could be labor optimization, faster cycle time, customer experience, doing the same thing every time consistently for a long period of time, right? How do you ensure that happens? Employee productivity, you take the mundane activity away from the employees. So if there's any spike, for example, that can be taken care by the employees and they don't have to do overtime because their BAU activity is taken care by the bot, so they're able to focus on this the new request which has come through, and still they can go home on time and be happy about it. Compliance and security. Many a times the regulatory bodies, they come upon us and they come with a lot of different requirements. And you can put bots there to basically exercise those requirements so that your audit team and your compliance team can get a lot of reprieve and focus on the analysis part than actually just collecting the data and the sorts, right? So I think that's very important for you to understand that the process I spoke about. When you look at the particular process, you have to basically see how I'm helping the organizations to solve the business problem. In the last slide, if I zoom out, you're familiar with these 4 boxes now. It's very important to see that you have the right technology at your disposal to help you to get over that particular journey. What we are seeing, the current trend in the industry is about citizen-led development, where the automation is usually has gone to the end user, and for that you have to reduce the friction. You have to make sure that it's easily understood, that technology is easily understood by the end user, and that's what Automation Anywhere A 2019 provides you. It provides you AI-powered, cloud-native, web-based intelligent document workforce platform. Most importantly, productivity packs, which means it combines very seamlessly with your Excel documents. So bringing the automation in your environment so that there is less of change management, and to make it faster and be smart about it, the bot store. As I said, we got 4,000 plus enterprise customers. A lot of learning. That learning is given here with pre-built bots, which you can download, retweak it, and then deploy and go for it. And last, cloud. We have seen a lot of uptake of cloud solutions since April for predominantly two reasons. Clouds provides resiliency and a scalability. And second, it helps the projects to shift from capex to opex, because when you're starting your any program of work, you have to procure the servers, which falls into the capital expenditure. And in current time, the capex budget is shrinking, right? So how can you start the program in your BAU budget itself? And smart automation as a service, bringing our own cloud infrastructure, will help you to do that. So on that note, I will stop my presentation. Just last takeaway, as I said, please keep customer in the center. You know that at the end of it, the processes that you're looking at got 6-7 touch points. You got to see it right from the start till the end. You should have that capability. You do not want island of automation applications doing that, and always think how you can provide the value to your end user. If you do that, you'll be on the right path. Thank you for that. So on that note, I think there's next poll which is coming up, if I'm not wrong. Ashika, over to you for the next poll.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gaurav here. I head the intelligent automation practice within Exponentia. So we saw two great presentations by Ramendra and by Mr. Sumit. We saw a lot of capability of what RPA can bring to the table, along with the intelligence of AI and ML technologies. What we're going to see now in next 10-12 minutes is see how RPA and intelligent automation together can bring a lot of power to the enterprises and automation to the day-to-day use cases that we all deal with a lot of human efforts. So I have got a video for about 7 minutes which will demonstrate 6 different use cases that you must have all dealt with in your day-to-day. So with that, the first use case that we're going to look at is for auto insurance claim processing. So as you would typically see for any claim, the first input that comes into the process is a claim form, and typically the form would be a filled-in form, how you see on the screen. In many cases, it will be a handwritten form. The IQ bot that Sumit mentioned brings a lot of power to convert this data from the form to a structured format. Once that's done, the data gets ingested into the system, and then we leverage a number of AI technologies, namely computer vision, natural language processing, and predictive modeling, all put together to bring a complete end-to-end automation. So what you see next here is an example of how an image, which is a damaged part of a vehicle, get processed. And also you can leverage the ML technologies to detect the fraud possibility in the claim. And towards the end of the automation, the report will be sent out to the business users, providing the details of what the claims estimate and the fraud probability looks like. This is a second use case, which is a typical purchase order creation in an SAP environment. So this is a typical workflow where the quotation will come from a vendor, goes through an email to then gets processed through a bot, which is IQBot in this case, and then the data from the quotation gets converted into a structured format and then gets fed into SAP, and then the purchase order gets created. So let us see how this whole process works through an IQBot and RPA bot put together. So this is a very simple example of showing how the IQBot gets trained, which takes the quotation form and feeds the data into a structure. So that completes the journey for creating the purchase order in SAP system, and then it gets sent for approval. This is a third use case where a sales order gets created. This is for a logistics client where the invoice data comes in, again gets converted, as you could see on the screen, in a structure, and then this data gets fed into a system called PALMS, which is a WMS used in most of the logistics companies. And ultimately it's going to create a sales order. So all the action you see is everything that's done by bot, taking the input from the invoices. This is another use case which is about revenue recognition, and this has been done for one of the client which was using the Oracle apps as their application, and this is a monthly activity which typically used to take anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes for a human to process, and the same activity, when it's automated through a bot, takes less than half a minute. The bot tries to log into the application. It handles some of the standard errors if you have used the Oracle apps. And this is where the bot and human interaction comes into the picture. So this is an example of an attended bot where the bot can actually interact with the human, providing certain inputs, basis which the bot will then do the processing. So the user enters a project ID, hits OK, the input goes to the bot. It does the calculation for the revenue to be recognized, and then you will see there are series of steps. It's a pretty tedious and cumbersome task by which you would post the revenue for every single project. So it goes through a series of steps, taking the status of every step, and once the step is completed, it moves to the next step, and thereby it keeps track of all the steps, the requests which get generated every step, their status, and then once all the steps are completed, it would send out a notification email with the details of the entire journey that took place. You see an automated email sent out with all the details of what all bot has done, and this is really good to have an audit of everything that the bot does. This is the last use case where we're saying it's an invoice processing. Another use case, this is for a client, and we are feeding the data into the SAP system here. The bot does the typical validations, going across tabs and making sure the data it has got is correct data. In case of any error, it fails that particular record of transaction, it moves to the next. Okay, so we got one last use case. This is a typical bank account reconciliation use case where you have got monthly statements coming from your different bank accounts, and you want to make sure that the transaction in those bank statements are matching with the information that you have in your own financial tool. So in this case, that is again a SAP tool. So the bot extracts the information from statements, put it into a standard Excel based format which is accepted by SAP. So the reformatting is done. Once it's reformatted, it will try and upload the bank statement into SAP. It will do some pre-checking before it does the upload to make sure that it is uploading as the latest bank statement ID. After the upload, it goes through each transaction, as you can see, one by one, and try to reconcile them and mark them as posted in the system. That was all on the use cases that we wanted to show you in this video presentation. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll have a poll question now coming up.
Let me know when my screen is visible.
Your screen is visible, Abhijit.
Okay. So, hi guys, this is Abhijit Mukherjee, Solution Specialist, Automation Anywhere at Tech Data. So far, as we have already witnessed, the very powerful tool of Automation Anywhere, and thanks to Gaurav that he has shared some use cases as well, targeting different segments and different type of processes. But one question is obviously going to be there, that how and why Automation Anywhere, if claims to be the best RPA platform, so why is it so? So for that, I wanted to show you a demo. So as you can see, currently I am on the A2019 workbench, the infamous workbench on which all of these use cases which you have just seen before this presentation were made. So currently I have logged in using my credential, and currently what you can see is the dashboard. So dashboard is nothing but a comprehensive view that what is available with us, IQBot, bot insight, and my matrices, that how many number of my bots were created, what are the actions taken, number of task bot running, and average time spent to create a task. Following up, we have activity tab, in which we can trace that what are my activities going on in progress, how many events have been triggered, and how many previous compilations have been done. So this is a log of all those details. I will be coming on the bot section at the very end, because here is where we are going to build our bot, which I am going to show you in a while. In the device, if we can see, we have my device section, where we have a comprehensive list of all the connected devices to this particular workbench. Followed up, we have Discovery Bot, one of the best services provided by Automation Anywhere for giving you a process discovery idea and to given perspective, what are those particular steps or the particular processes within our organizations which are mundane or repeatable. So Discovery Bot is a tool which gives you a comprehensive outlook of the complete process, which can be automated. Workloads or queues are for those processes where we have a complicated and a comprehensive long process. So queues are there to manage those workloads. You also have a bot store personalized tab for all of those downloads you will be making by bot store. So this is nothing but task bots which have been downloaded from the bot store onto your private tab. We have audit log. Obviously, there are some cases that maybe your system is not working well, or you cannot have the deployment properly. So audit log gives you a better idea that what is the current status of your login details and your device details. Next up, we have the administration, which comprises of 4 tabs: users, roles, migration, and license. These are the informations of complete users listing. Their roles have been assigned. So obviously, working on a workbench, we have administrators, we have engineers, we have developers working. So accordingly, roles are distributed, and the licenses for which we are enrolled in. At last, you also have your personalized setting where you can set up everything for your own profile. Coming to the bots, as I promised earlier, that we will be creating a comprehensive bot over here, which will do a task that it is going to send an email. If you have, if you are on track on, so in the use case videos been shown by Gaurav, there was a scene that there was an email received on one end. So we are going to try that with our attendees present in this webinar. So shall we create a bot? Let's go on. So let's name it attendees, or let's simply call it an email automation. Saving our time. Once created, you can see the very stylish and designable format of the workbench for creation of the bot. On the left side, you can see all the possible actions which are needed to create the bot. Nothing is codable, everything is user interface based. You just have to click on any of the item, and those particular actions are drag and drop items. You can simply drag it onto your particular workbench, and the automation is going on. So for our consideration, to give you an idea that what type of file we will be tackling with, so I have the details of the attendees in this format, where we have a name of the attendee followed up with the email address. So this will be the type of input I will be taking for all the attendees. So obviously it is Excel, so we need an Excel command for it. So we shall go with the Excel basic open command. Okay, so now if you can see on the right hand side of your screen, you can see all the configuration settings possible for this particular command. And this is the type of variation Automation Anywhere is giving you to do your automation and to make it a successful workflow. Okay, so I already have the path for my file with me, which I am going to copy paste into my browse section, and simply we are going to save it. So here is our first action. Now our particular Excel file is having multiple rows of different attendees. So obviously my bot needs to go on each of those steps to send email separately to all of our attendees. For that purpose, let's use a loop command. You can just see that how easily we are just creating a bot. We are just dragging and dropping everything, and the bot is getting created eventually. So we are going for each rows in a worksheet. Okay, we wanted to loop from all rows, and that's it. At the end, we also want to have the data of our current row into a variable. So we also have the capability to create simple variables to store temporarily your data within your automation. So let's call it a data variable. So every time the bot is going through each of the row, so the current row will be the input for the variable which we have just created. So that's it for the loop command. So that now we have set everything. Now just let's send the email. Okay. So here we are just configuring everything for our mailer's address. So we are not going to give a specific address. We want all of those particular emails from each of the attendees. We are simply going to call our variable which we have just created, data record. Now how this works? So record variable takes all of the row entirely into a single variable. So each row will always have, so let's say currently my row is on the first one. So this complete selection is part of one record. And simply, this is the index 0 and this is the index 1. So our obviously in programming paradigm, we have the index starting from 0, not at 1. So obviously first place is 0, second is 1. Okay. Now, so my email address is at first index. And let's change our subject to hello there. We don't want to attach anything. I have a personalized message for all of my attendees. So let's put that here. Okay, that looks good. Just a simple thing left to do is that we want to greet our attendee. So for that we are again going to use the same variable, and this time if you remember the Excel file, we are going to use 0 index because we wanted to greet your name, not your email address, obviously. So that's done. Everything looks good so far. We have personalized message. We have already greeted our attendees. We have mail information for our attendees, and at the end we are going to just change the email server to Outlook to save us the time to configure any further details of sending and receiving recipient. Saving it. As a last step, we wanted that our bot should give some output just for the sake of consideration that eventually due to the network or some other issues our bot's execution is interrupted. So let's just put a error handler. Error handler is nothing but what we say a way to address those type of issues which you will be facing in your bot. So in our case we wanted to put a message, let's say execution issue. So if by any chance my bot doesn't able to run this particular process, so we will get a message execution issue, and that's it. Okay, so we are good to go. Okay, let's run the process. It is running, it is downloading some dependencies. And now the bot execution has started. So for as a contingency, I have just put my mail as the first row entry to give you an idea that what type of mail everyone is going to receive. So as you can see, a very comprehensive mail is going to be dropped within minutes of time to all of our attendees with such type of delivered message. So that's it. That's how easy the bot creation part is. And also we have what we say a different type of view, so that if you are a developer kind of person, you can work differently with all of these type of views. So that's it. That's the end of my demo. Over to you, Rashika.
Thank you, Abhijit, for the wonderful demo. It's time for the next poll question. Thank you for your responses, everyone. Now the floor is open for Q&A session.